There are, well, we've got a live auction here tomorrow. What would likely be now the youngest car on there?
In the auction?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, I've not actually been through the catalogue, but I'm going to say something made in the last 15 years, maybe?
I've seen there's
early 2000s?
No, there's a couple of 2009 cars out there.
Okay, well,
there's a Rolls Royce, I think it's a Phantom.
There's a Maserati Gran Turismo, I think, in historic auction as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then that comes down maybe not to it being a modern day classic, it's down to rarity. And you are talking of sort of cars in the late 2000s or mid 2000s. If we look around the show today, we've seen cars that are sort of almost straight off the line.
Yeah.
I think there's a Corvette I've seen here that's a brand new vehicle, and I think that it comes down again to beauty and what people want to look at.
Yeah.
The star of the show for me here is there's a couple of 246 Dinos, and they are, you know, as a brace of cars, if I had £500,000, I'd be signing an order today.
Well, that was actually what I was going to ask as well. If you had to choose two modern classics to invest in, what would they be and why? Contestant number one.
I think for me, the cars that I would invest in, so the first one I would pick is the MG ZT 260 V8. Yes, a cracking car. It's, you know, I would say the last great proper MG, you know, I know that MG still make cars today, but, you know, proper MGs, you know, British engineer, it's, you know, it's a wonderful car. I think the best way to know it's probably like a Ford or TDR Chimera. You know, with that wonderful sort of waffly V8, and you know, it's a very analog car to drive, and they're rare as well. So that would be my first one. And the second one, and they're already climbing actually, is the Ford Racing Puma. So fast Fords are, again, they've all been a market phenomenon for years now, and people have been looking for Focus RSs, again, things like that, which have been climbing, go back a bit earlier, things like Escort Cosworths. And the Racing Puma is one of those cars that's very rare. You know, they only made 500 of them. They were planning to make 1,000. Coach built by Tickford, who obviously did Aston Martin in the 80s. So again, it's coach built sort of fast forward as well. Brilliant cars to drive as well. You know, we've got a rally pedigree as well with Ford sort of rally involvement in the late 90s, and the bad ones have been bashed, have been crashed now, so the good survivors are getting fewer and farther between. So that is a car I anticipate going up in value more than they are already.
Nice choices.
Oh, what I go for? I'm going to say Porsche 996 GT3 and BMW M3 CSL.
Oh, you said about them being earlier as well.
They're both, you know, fantastic cars to drive when they were new. They were collectible straight off the blocks. They're both modern interpretations of 70s cars, you know, the 2.7 RS Porsche and the 3-litre CSL. They're both homologated for racing, and there's just a massive following around those cars. And actually, you know, I still think they're good value for money. I mean, what's a 2.7 RS? I'm going to say 350, 400,000 for a standard touring car. What's a 996 GT3? 75 grand, 80,000 pounds. It's still 75, 80,000 pounds, but it's a lot, you know. There's a lot of growth there, I think, in that particular model. And the CSL, the M3 CSL, people have been copying them since they came out, and you know, there's a fantastic following for that car, and you know, for sporting BMWs generally, and I think that could only continue.
So my choices here for modern classics are, I think it'll certainly amount of affordable versions. I'd go for the BMW Z4, the one with the little hardback that, you know, if they were remaking episodes of The Saints, instead of driving a Volvo P1800, he'd be running around in a Z4.
I'd still like one of those.
I think they're great looking.
Yeah.
The other car I'd like, which will please my cameraman today, is the Honda Civic Type R.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, absolutely a cracking vehicle, and it will be a generation that the Generation X will recognise and will go up in value, because half of them are now stuffed up trees in rivers and burnt out somewhere around Liverpool. As a car of choice,
Is he always like this?
As a car of choice, I'm afraid it still resides with me for an Aston Martin DB11 V12. I think the V12 is an engine that will cease production
Yeah.
very, very soon.
I'd
They
say
haven't
so.
made on. There are a lot of V8s running around. The V12s are going to become the dinosaurs, and they'll soon be. And there aren't a lot of them out there. So prices are holding on those, I've noticed, and they're very nice to drive.
Out of interest, what was your first car?
Very first car I had was I shared my mum's Escort Mark 1,
Nice.
and then I bought an MG Midget.
You were a boy racer, weren't you?
Still am.
Are they both alive? Well, not alive now, but did the Beam survive? Did the Escort survive?
No, goodness, my mum drove it. Don't be silly.
Different generation. No offence, but first car.
My first car was a 1984 Mini Mayfair, and it was very reliable, and every week I would rely on it to break down. I love that car, but great fun.
Yeah, great.
And mine, I've still got it.
Have you?
Yeah, when I was 17, I bought 3 Triumph Spitfires,
Oh my. Oh.
and I made one good one out of them. And it's still quite good. and I've had it for, God, 30 years, something like that, so scary. So yeah, still, but don't use it, but you know.
And what was yours, Alex?
Mine was a Suzuki Samurai. It was cool, right? Just like a hairdresser.
They're coming back.
It was. Actually, I would really like one now. They are good.
Rare these days, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Should have kept hold of it.